America's been going through a housing affordability crisis for years, and the Trump administration has only exacerbated many of the worst trends contributing to that crisis. One of the main drivers of the affordability crisis is a lack of housing in places where people want to live. The tariff policy rammed through by this administration at the top of the year has made getting the materials to build much more expensive. The racist immigration crackdown has put more pressure on the already labor-constrained construction industry, where 1 in 3 workers are foreign-born. And Trump's dismantling of federal government agencies, including gutting the Federal Housing Administration, rolling back reductions to mortgage insurance premiums, and getting rid of mortgage assistance programs that help prevent foreclosures. We've already seen single-family home foreclosures start to rise because of these actions. So it only makes sense that we continue to see the age of first-time homebuyers rise. There's nothing helping people get through the door. Now, we know Black folks have always struggled to access homeownership, whether it's been considered an affordability crisis or not. Black homeownership rates have always been much lower than white rates. In fact, there's never been a point in U.S. history where the majority of Black families lived in homes they've owned rather than rented. That's both a current contributor to and a direct legacy of the racial wealth gap, but it also reflects the history and current practice of discrimination in lending. The Black-white gap in life expectancy is similarly news to no one at this point. The living conditions, work, and kinds of violence Black folks are exposed to in this country, combined with the lack of access to resources that would either mitigate that exposure or otherwise improve health, makes the fact that Black folks live shorter, sicker lives than white folks. Trump putting a 50-year mortgage forward as a way to address the housing affordability crisis doesn't make any of these long-term disparities worse, but it does show either a profound ignorance of them, total lack of concern for them, or a deep amount of cruelty. So, should we be looking at the 50-year mortgage as a way to solve the housing affordability crisis or the racial gap in homeownership rates? Absolutely not. It's no more a solution to the homeownership gap than subprime lending was in the 2000s. I don't think the industry is going to start seriously offering people 50-year mortgages anyway. At that point, there's really no daylight between renting and buying. And even if somehow the monthly payment on the 50-year mortgage was significantly lower than the rent in a given area, you still lose the mobility that you get with having a lease. It's taking a bet that your children are going to want to and be able to assume the burden of finishing out your mortgage after you pass on, which sounds like crazy work. If we do want to close racial gaps in homeownership and improve affordability for everybody, we should focus on reducing discrimination in lending, ending the harassment and intimidation of workers in the construction industry, rebuilding the housing assistance programs in our government, and then finally pushing forward an agenda that increases the affordable housing supply in sustainable ways.